Hey there.
You've heard me say
Welcome
it
back
again
to the
and again,
Surge
but Creo
and
cares.
Central Production B.
Let's be honest. Over the last couple of decades, things haven't been too great. We know. We've seen the figures, and that's why we created Project Resolve. But with an ailing population, developmental problems, disability rising at an alarming rate in children, some would have you believe it's too late. At least that's what elements in the media would have you believe. But Creo has you covered. From family daycare centers to full medical coverage, your family is our family. The average workplace can be littered with hazards. But at Creo, we're proud to say we never had more than a stuffed toe. With the implementation of our rigs, we've made you stronger, faster, tougher. The rigors of the workplace won't even give you pause. And due to the integration of your neural interface into Creo's core system, our professional healthcare staff can monitor your well-being 24/7. If that doesn't make you sleep tight, I don't know what will.
I'm getting a sense of deja vu. I think I might have watched that one on my way to the biolabs already, but that's okay. It was nice to see Don again after the staticky screens of the previous area. What in the world is that? That doesn't look friendly. So, this production line, this automated robot-run production line, is the replacement for human-made Project Resolve rockets. Dr. Chavez and some of the logs we've found have mentioned that Project Resolve rockets are still going up, despite the project itself being decommissioned. And well, I guess now we know why. It's because it's all automated. And I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been the surge happening. So nobody's really around to shut the thing down. We're using dual nail guns. There's not really much special about the dual nail guns, it's just fun. I wish that you could hammer nails into these enemies, but unfortunately you cannot. I think it's kind of cool that they have the various enemy types fighting each other. These Creo security hazmat suit guys and the insane factory line workers. There's a little bit of a schism going on between them right about now. Although I have a feeling that neither party is quite close to normal when it comes to the whole sanity thing. And hey, now that we've got our drone upgrade, we can head through the circulation tower in our attempts to continue to find R&D. Because here's the thing, right? We need to get to the executive forum, but we can't yet because everything is on lockdown. So we need to find a way to override the lockdown so that we can go to the executive forum and do Chavez's bidding of delivering that cipher to Bonham or Fox. We don't quite know why yet, but I kind of like the idea of helping her a little better than helping Sally, because let's just say that we're starting to get hints that Sally's not being entirely honest with us. There's another smelter bot over there, but we're not going to bother with him just yet because I want to get lots of scrap out of him. So we're going to try to get our multiplier up a little bit first. I'm certainly not in very much danger running around right now because, I mean, I'm wearing the Scarab gear and several health upgrade implants from the DLC, so I mean, look at my fucking health bar. But the cool thing, right, the one thing I like about this game is that you might notice that these guys are still taking quite a chunk out of me. Like, if I get careless, I definitely will pay for it. This is not by any means erasing the game's difficulty. It's just making things a little bit simpler along the way.
This is essential in our space operations, where even electrical fluctuations can lead to death or injury within seconds. If you can imagine it, Cryo can design it. Although Project Resolve has grabbed most of the headlines, don't forget, Cryo consumer products are in millions of homes the world over. What would we do without Cryo?
You know, life would probably be a better place without Cryo, but, I mean, really, who am I to judge? We certainly don't know much about the outside world other than that it's a post-apocalyptic hellscape. One good thing about heading up here into the circulation tower is that we are running into more hazmat suit guys, which means, you know, slightly less insane resistance for once. But what that also means is that we're probably heading in the right direction, so maybe let's keep going this way.
Happy birthday, little brother. Hope you're doing okay. We haven't heard from you in a while. Is work taking over again? I know that added responsibility will take a while for you to get used to. Not really in your nature to be the boss man. Seriously, though, we appreciate everything you're doing for us. Don't think we don't. You're always in our thoughts and prayers. Mom misses you madly, of course. Her widow pumpkin. We all miss you. Enjoy your party and the cake. You're the best. Love, Peggy.
Yeah, that log is interesting. You might recall that quite some time ago, on our first trip through this area, we heard about a certain R. Ferguson, company man responsible for shutting down the Raging Drones fund that the workers here were having a birthday party. And the workers were not too happy about it. So that's kind of cute. It's kind of cute, a log to, you know, to remind you, hey, by the way, these people got families. Speaking of families, there's like 10 enemies in this room, and like, I really like this room because all of these enemies are very they're very territorial. they're like a pack of animals. They're very territorial. Like they will taunt you until you come close, and then they will. Oh, if you get too close, they will all come at you at once. And they are, shall we say, they are not kind. But the good old Chop Master makes pretty short work of them because it's got lots of, like, wide sweeping moves so he can hit multiples of them at once. And this is why I didn't take on that smelter bot, because all these guys are just hanging out up here. And, they're using the single rigged weapons, so like they pretty much only exist for me to increase my scrap multiplier. Still though, it's pretty fun to just wander into this room and be like, oh, there's like 10, 11 enemies in here. Cool. Thanks.
I noticed some irregularities during my last review. There seems to be significant aberrations in the payload dispersal unit. My first course of action was to inform my supervisor, considering the matter closed. But here it is again. It's infuriating. My only conclusion is there are problems down the line. Unless changes have been made and we have not been notified, which is completely unacceptable. But every time I raise the matter, here I am.
Seems like the production line itself is also having problems. Man, pretty much everything at Cryo is having problems all at once, and it seems to have just culminated in, like, what is the worst possible thing that could happen? And the answer turned out to be everything at once. So these liquidator guys with the grenade launchers, they're quite a force to be reckoned with. They're not so bad from a distance. The grenades themselves are not too bad, but like when they actually run up and smack you with the grenade launcher, it does a lot of damage. So I gotta kind of be careful of that when they start throwing other guys into the mix too. This area is really dangerous. There's a reason that I chose now to wear the scarab suit. Whoa! Oh my god, it's Ferguson. That's a bit of an overreaction to his workplace dealings. Oh my. That's kind of a bummer. I gotta feel bad for the guy. I mean, he was mostly just doing his job. I mean, tensions at the Cryo production facility were high and all, but damn, man. I guess that's the result of your entire workforce being juiced up on super drugs that keep them awake and at top production capability at all times. They get a little irritable. That's pretty brutal. That's certainly brutal. I mentioned that you were gonna hate those guys. You were gonna. I mentioned that those Cryo employees in those audio logs. I mentioned you were not gonna like them before the Ferguson storyline was over, and it's not over. There's a little bit more to it actually that we're about to find out about. But man, what a goddamn bummer. By the way, just like how you can knock enemies into the air by doing low sweeps, they can do the same to you. So that's great. Have you ever been air juggled by a man with a giant hammer? Well, good news. Play the Surge and you'll get that experience tenfold. That attack tracks you really good too. That big upwards like swing. Like that is a two-hit. That is a two-step goodbye that will send you flying, and then pound it into the dirt. I like that they put the audio log about Ferguson's family like directly across the way from his corpse, like just specifically to put it in your mind and then make you feel bad about it. I don't know. Hey look, another drone module. That makes up for Ferguson's horrible demise. The coolant vent is actually really useful. It pretty much projects like a field of fart gas that slows down anything that walks in it, which is really nice.
Mr. Ferguson, Cryo is a company with a global reputation to uphold, and the employees under your supervision have not only broken company policy, but also numerous federal laws. Still, as you have repeatedly assured us of their reliability and are willing to answer for these individuals, we have decided not to pursue this further. But be assured, we will not accept any future transgressions. As a part of Cryo's administrative team, we know we can trust you on this matter. There are plenty of good men out there in need of work, something you should also remember. Sincerely, Jay Connolly.
So there you go. That's the clincher. That is, in my opinion, what makes this such an effective little storyline, is that even after how much these people hated him, he still vouched for them. He still vouched for those people that were doing the raging drone stuff. He assured the Cryo CEOs and executives of the quality of their workmanship. And they killed him. They killed him. They thought that he had turned against them, because I guess this is a spoiler for the end of this quest line, because it's still not over. Just a slight spoiler. The reason that Ferguson has correspondence with Jay Connolly, who is one of the heads of production in the executive forum, we'll hear more about him later. The reason that Ferguson has correspondence with him is because Ferguson had just gotten promoted, you see. And so I suppose that the factory workers assumed that he had turned on them, when actually he was vouching for them the whole time. Man. I love it. I love storylines like that. It's such a bummer. It's a real bummer. But on the bright side, all of those people are probably dead as well. So, at least there's that. We've unlocked an absolutely gigantic shortcut, by the way, back to Central Production B, where all of this mess started. So, once we take out this smelter bot, we'll head on over there and see if anything's changed. Spoilers, yes, some things have changed. This is the last smelter bot, believe it or not, and it's also one of the tougher ones, because he's like jammed over here in this corner, and also his weak spots are very, very well protected. Someone in the thread told me that you can use the drone attacks to pierce the armor of these things and damage them even when the weak spot's not open. But I can't figure out a way how to do. I can't figure out a way to do that. Like, the most I've been able to figure out is the laser drone, which only does 1 damage. So it's like, it's basically nothing. So I can't really figure out how to make the drones do damage to these things. But you know, doing it the hard way honestly is not that bad. It's just that it takes a while. But hey, say goodbye to the smelter bots, everybody, because they put up a pretty good fight, but we're about done with them now. Eventually. There we go. Say goodnight, smelter bots. You've been a very good source of scrap thus far. And hey, look, we have ourselves 5 shining coins. So, now that we have all of them, and we have defeated all of the smelter bots, why don't we take a trip back to the break room and get us a snack from the vending machine. That's not as much of a joke as you might assume it is. That's not, like, I'm only barely joking there, because if I actually tell you what we're going to do right now, you're not going to believe me. And that's true. So what's kind of cool about this area is that the enemies don't actually get any tougher. So if you find yourself being like a little bit under-leveled, or you didn't explore the whole place, you can actually come back here to the Central Production B area, and you can fight the enemies here and get more scrap. And right now there's not much new, but we're going to be coming back through this area one more time before this game is over, and by then things will be significantly tougher, so we have to take advantage of this where we can. And here we are, back at the Material Depot. Who knows? Maybe we'll be able to stop in and say hi to Sally while we're here. I assume she's missed us since we haven't had correspondence with her for a while.
This is not a scheduled break time.
I lost your signal for a bit. Everything okay, Warren?
We'll talk to you in a minute,
We
Sally.
need to talk.
First things first, our real friends, and your medicine.
My meds. I really need them, man. Please. I need Medoxanol. The others won't help, selfish pricks. Come on. Just help me out.
You mentioned the others. Who do you mean?
The others, I asked them, you know? I asked them, but they won't help. Just stared at me, just sat and stared. Just blurry and silent. I need it. Please, I need it now. I want to talk to them, but they can't hear me. Not anymore.
So tell me, what's the deal with your meds?
It should be in my file. I always get it, always. Every day. Everyone in my department does. I need to have it now, please. I need it.
I think I've got the implant you need right here.
Oh, man. Thank you. Thank you. So much better. So much better. Like the ocean on a hot day. Here, take this for your troubles, okay?
Yeah, no problem, buddy.
Well, somebody's feeling much better.
Oh, so much better. Whole again. A new man. Every cell alive. The body electric.
Huh.
Have to go. Huh? What? Okay.
Well, it seems that Davy was a recipient of the medicine that the factory
Don't forget
workers
your
were
help
getting,
out
which
there.
is,
You saved my ass.
a shame. How's it going, Hobbs?
So what's up? You heard anything?
Well, there was a girl, Mallory. Kept me company for a time. Man, she was something. Whip smart. Didn't get a whole lot of what she said, but I listened to every word. Something about the board. She said she got it figured out, and all of a sudden, she was gone.
Huh. Mallory's been here.
You getting along okay with Davy?
Kinda getting on my nerves. Not his fault, though. Look at this shitstorm we're in, and then these drug implants. I mean, sure they can keep us going, but some people can't handle it.
Amen to that, buddy.
Take care, Hobbs.
You bet I will. Don't do nothing I wouldn't.
Oh, believe you me. I don't plan on it. Alright, Sally. What do you want?
I'm glad you're okay. I thought I'd never see you again. Did you find help?
You know, I
lost your signal
did.
near the old R&D compound.
And funny enough, I heard some things that you might be interested
And I
in.
thought you had all the answers.
I thought we'd been over this. All I can tell is that there was some kind of electrical malfunction that ripped through the system.
What if Resolve isn't what we think it is?
Those media stories were discredited ages ago. Surely you can't mean them. Cryo actively destroying the atmosphere to keep funding going. Or my favorite, the rich person's pleasure palace in orbit. Come on. We're not that gullible. And besides, the rest of the world would have noticed. I'm stuck here too, Warren. You're knocking at the wrong door, but I'm pretty sure management would be the right one.
At this point, I'd rather kick it in. Why would I trust management?
Hey, come on. We've got some actual geniuses up here. But they're probably in the same situation as me. Stuck in a room. The whole of the executive forum locked down after the event. If we can just get them out. I mean, Gutenberg and the others must know what to do.
Yeah, maybe.
Chavez had a different perspective on Resolve. According to her, something's going on here.
Chavez. Dr. Melissa Chavez. You saw her. She was fired years ago.
Well, how do you know?
It's just hearsay, but apparently she hit a brick wall with her work. I'm not sure if her opinion can be trusted. She's not exactly objective with this matter. She didn't go quietly back then. Apparently she had quite a fight with the board.
I would say maybe you're not so
I
objective
have
either.
no idea how to get to the executive forum. First day on the job, remember?
Well, the official routes are most likely locked down. But you could try the ventilation and maintenance shafts at the end of the production line. The factory and the administration tower are connected there.
Okay. Sure.
I need to go.
I'll be here, if you need me.
Boy, Sally sure is being evasive. Curious. But at least we have our goal now.